Most people assume nuclear war would require thousands of weapons fired simultaneously. The science says something far more unsettling. You only need 2%. According to peer-reviewed research published in September 2025, only 2% of the world's current nuclear weapons, if detonated over cities, would be enough to abruptly cause ice age temperatures across the planet. 2% of 13,000 weapons is approximately 260 warheads. The United States alone has 1,770 deployed. Russia has 1,710. According to SIPRI's 2025 yearbook, all 9 nuclear-armed nations are currently upgrading or expanding their arsenals. Today on Daily World, we go through what the science actually says happens. Minute by minute, day by day, year by year, if nuclear war begins. A nuclear weapon detonates. Here is what the physics does. In the first 8 seconds. In the first millisecond, a fireball forms, hotter than the surface of the sun. Temperatures at the epicenter reach between 10 and 20 million degrees Celsius. Everything within the immediate radius vaporizes, not burns, vaporizes. Within 1 second, a blast wave expands outward at several times the speed of sound, shattering buildings and collapsing lungs through sudden pressure change across a radius of several kilometers. Simultaneously, a thermal pulse, a flash of infrared radiation, travels at the speed of light, igniting everything combustible within line of sight, causing third-degree burns on exposed skin up to 10 kilometers away. Then, the most scientifically underappreciated effect, the fires. According to the 2025 peer-reviewed research, the fires are the largest cause of acute casualties in nuclear war. Not the blast, the fires. There is a weapon within the weapon, one that kills no one directly, but destroys the infrastructure that keeps everyone alive. When a nuclear weapon detonates at high altitude, above 30 kilometers, it produces an electromagnetic pulse, an EMP. The EMP is not heat, not blast, not radiation. It is a surge of electromagnetic energy, traveling at the speed of light, that fries electronic circuits across a radius of hundreds to thousands of kilometers. A single high-altitude nuclear detonation over the center of the United States could disable power grids, communications, water treatment systems, banking infrastructure, and hospital equipment across the entire continental U.S. simultaneously. No direct casualties from the detonation itself, but a civilization suddenly stripped of electricity, water, refrigeration, medical devices, would begin to collapse within days. Modern warfare strategists consider the EMP attack among the most dangerous opening moves in any nuclear conflict. The bomb does not destroy civilization, the smoke does. When nuclear weapons detonate over cities, they ignite enormous firestorms. Those firestorms burn millions of tons of combustible material, plastics, chemicals, building materials, fuel. The fires generate massive columns of black soot, superheated smoke that rises rapidly through the troposphere and injects directly into the stratosphere, the layer of atmosphere 12 to 50 kilometers above the Earth. Once soot reaches the stratosphere, there is no rain to wash it out. It stays there, spreading globally, for years. The 2025 National Academy of Sciences report found a large-scale nuclear conflict could inject 5 to 12.5 teragrams of submicron particles into the stratosphere. A full US-Russia exchange, over 150 teragrams. That soot layer blocks incoming solar radiation. Global surface temperatures begin to drop within weeks. By some models, temperatures could fall by 5 to 10 degrees Celsius on average within months. In some regions, far more. The cooling, according to the research, typically lasts a decade. The most lethal long-term consequence of nuclear war is not radiation, it is starvation. In 2025, researchers at Pennsylvania State University used a sophisticated agro-ecosystem model to simulate how nuclear winter would affect global corn yields, treating corn as a proxy for all major staple crops. Their findings, modeled across 38,572 locations globally, were stark. A regional nuclear war, injecting approximately 5 million tons of soot, would reduce worldwide corn production by about 7%. A full-scale global conflict, injecting 165 million tons, could cut yields by approximately 80%. The 2025 NAS report confirms nuclear winter effects could reduce global crop yields by 3 to 16%, with the worst effects in the temperate regions above 30 degrees north, which includes the United States, China, and all of Europe. The peer-reviewed science is direct. Only 2% of current nuclear weapons, if detonated over cities, would put over 2 billion people at risk of starvation within just 2 years. Not from the blast, from hunger. There is a third catastrophe, one that operates on a completely different timescale, and almost no one talks about it. Nuclear detonations produce enormous quantities of nitrogen oxides, chemical compounds that react directly with ozone molecules in the stratosphere. The Penn State 2025 research estimated that ozone depletion following a large-scale conflict would dramatically increase the amount of ultraviolet radiation reaching Earth's surface. UV radiation at elevated levels causes severe damage to crops, burning leaves and reducing photosynthesis. Damage to marine ecosystems, particularly phytoplankton, which produce half of all the oxygen on Earth, and dramatic increases in skin cancer and immune suppression in any surviving human population. So the sequence is, nuclear winter darkens the sky and kills crops from cold, and simultaneously, increased UV burns the crops that manage to survive the cold. Two mechanisms, working in opposite directions, attacking the food supply from both sides at the same time. The 2025 U.S. National Academy of Sciences report, commissioned by Congress, explicitly warns that the human toll of nuclear war extends far beyond immediate casualties. Studies of atomic bomb survivors show increased suicide rates, PTSD, and intergenerational psychological effects that persisted for decades after Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Mass displacement following a nuclear exchange would overwhelm shelter, healthcare, food, and water provision simultaneously. The report notes, psychological impacts could trigger panic, hoarding, and the breakdown of civil order in regions far from the actual detonations. And the economic disruptions, according to the NAS panel, are, quote, difficult to understate. Global supply chains, financial systems, energy infrastructure, all interdependent, all simultaneously destabilized. The science does not only model the physical effects, it models the cascade, and the cascade is, by every measure, worse than the bomb itself. In late 2024, the United Nations General Assembly voted to establish a new independent scientific panel to comprehensively study the effects of nuclear war for the first time in nearly 40 years. Its final report is due in 2027. Nature magazine noted in 2025, the risks of nuclear war are the highest they have been in decades. 9 nations now hold more than 13,000 nuclear weapons. All 9 are currently upgrading or expanding. AI is now integrated into nuclear decision-making systems, raising fears of automated escalation. The science is not telling us this is inevitable. The science is telling us this is preventable. But prevention requires understanding what is actually at stake. Not the Hollywood version, the real version. If this video helped you understand the real version, share it, subscribe to Daily World, and stay informed. Because the most powerful thing any person can do is understand what they are up against.